Hey, what's up team? Check out the latest and greatest from Yolopark's AMK Series Pro. The character that you see here, his name is Ryoma, and he comes from an anime called Legend of Heavenly Sphere Shurato. And now this is an anime that aired back in '89, and it's about two friends, Shurato and Guy, and they get transported from Earth into this mystical realm, and Shurato discovers that he is the reincarnation of an ancient warrior king, and that he's chosen to fight as one of the 8 legendary protectors known as the Hachibushu, and this guy Ryoma is one of them. So Ryoma, who's also known as the Dragon King, like I mentioned, is one of the 8 legendary Hachibushu who protect the heavenly realm of Tenkukai. He's kind of like this calm, dependable warrior type dude, kind of like a big brother if you will, and he balances Shurato's hot-headed nature. His Shakti armor is dragon themed as you can see, and his weapon is a powerful staff that channels devastating dragon-shaped energy attacks. He has a mix of brute strength and discipline, and he's one of the team's most reliable fighters. So that was a quick introduction to the character and series, so why don't we now focus on the figure. So this is my first non-Transformers Yolopark figure, and man, if you thought those guys are posable, dude, this guy takes it to another level. He looks like he practices yoga every day, perhaps every hour. He is so flexible and limber. The joint system that they use seems to be really advanced. I mean, case in point, look at this head. There's a connection point right beneath the base of the skull and also at the collar. And look at the muscle ligature on homie's arms, dude. That is absolutely wild. I'm enjoying the sculpt a lot. Mobility wise, you can see that he has near universals. He even has a slight butterfly. He has a spin on the bicep and also a double elbow as well, allowing you to get into tons of neat poses. Legs are also pretty well articulated. You get a full side to side and you get a skirt that moves out of the way when you move the leg. But the full front kick and back kick can be impeded a little bit by the skirts, but it's not too hateful. And you can see at the top of the thigh, there is a thigh spin that's connected to the hip, and so that's pretty cool. He also has some ab crunchiness so you can bend him forward, and also a deep double knee so that you can compress his leg up. And just to break the fourth wall a little bit, you know, I don't know anything about this character, and honestly, I don't really mess with a ton of just like humanoid action figures, but through this review, I experienced something brand new, and that is the joy of figure posing and the art of storytelling. And for the Transformers that I review, a lot of the storytelling is done through their transformation process, and perhaps some of the articulation, but these guys being posable humanoid characters allows you to paint a canvas that is much more vast and profound. And just to break the fourth wall one more time, you guys ever watch a series called Recess from back in the day? Doesn't homeboy Ryoma look like King Bob? A little bit, right? Watch when I showcase his face, I swear he looks like King Bob. But anyway, back to the figure review. So here's Ryoma, and he's decked out in his dragon armor, and man, that looks absolutely beautiful. I love the high quality details that Yolopark is known for. I mean, I've seen it on their Transformers, but to see it on a humanoid figure and this kind of like heavenly samurai-esque armor, man, that is just something else. And speaking of Transformers, this guy is actually a partial parts former. See those armor plates that are flying off? Those bits can actually be used to create a dragon chariot, and he can kind of ride on top of it like Goku would on the clouds in Dragon Ball. Yeah, the dragon chariot is actually quite complex. It uses a ton of parts. It uses his legs, it uses the chest armors, the armor from the sides and the front and the back, and so it's not just like a tiny piece here and there. It's actually really quite involved, and when you look at the dragon chariot, you can tell that this is the armor that's going to envelop him. Articulation wise, it's the same as the non-armored version, but he does have armor and he does have scales, and so you might find that certain movements are going to be impeded. And speaking of armor, let me show you that dragon chariot. Yo, that's pretty slick, right? Dude, I think that's mad sick. And it doesn't look like just a random bunch of pieces cobbled together. It actually looks convincing in my opinion. And if you wanted to go all the way, you can deck them out with the clouds, and they do have tires in the bottom, and so after you affix all of them, I mean, just to be completely honest, it kind of reminds me of a float that you would see on a parade, right? I mean, visually the illusion is there. You're not going to see the tires on the bottom, but me just knowing that they're there, I don't know, it just makes me think of a parade float. And now that we've gotten to know Ryoma and his armor, why don't we go ahead and build him? Starting with the head, it's composed of 3 pieces: the back of the hair, the face, and then the brow, and you just plug those pieces in together. The arms are pretty simple. You just plug the hands into the wrist, and then you take that entire forearm and you connect it to the bicep piece. And make sure that it's all the way in there. Once it's connected, you can kind of give it a couple of flexes just to make sure that everything is secure. The shoulder armor, you pretty much just pop on, but it is a bit difficult to do on camera, and so just pretend that I did it. And then connecting the arm to the shoulder, just give it a good couple of spins, let the friction heat up the plastic, and so that you can just kind of pop it in there. The connection is kind of tight though. And so far so good, but let's move on to the legs. And similar to the way we connected the arm, we're going to take the thigh and plug that into the calf and make sure that everything is very secure. Give it a couple of flexes. And afterwards, just plug in the foot, and now that is completo. Get it? Toe, foot? Alright, never mind. And do the same thing for the other side, and afterward take that leg and plug it into the hip thigh connector that's connected to the hip, and there you go, you got the lower half of the torso. Now to connect the two halves together, first you're going to take the legs and you are going to thread them through the skirt, and then you're going to be taking that ball joint and connecting it to the upper half of the body. The fit is a bit tight, and so rotate until you hear a pop, and same thing for the head as well. And now we are done with the non-armored Ryoma. And now let's move on to the main course and assemble the dragon armored version. There's going to be a lot of similarities, and look, you're going to see that King Bob face that I mentioned. Totally King Bob, right? Oh, but do note that the chest is a little bit different. The other one, the chest and torso is pre-assembled, but this one, because it shares pieces with the skiff, it has kind of like an internal skeleton that you're going to adorn with armor pieces. The arm assembly is pretty much the same, but you can see that it's different in that it's adorned with that beautiful scaly green dragon armor. And just like the first figure, you're going to wiggle, warm up the plastic and pop in the bicep. The shoulder armor I have already installed, and you can see that he has a swappable gimmick with the dragon face. That's super cool. Legs are pretty much the same. Grab the thigh and insert it into the dragon scale armor, and then add the foot at the end. The lower half of the abdomen is a bit different, as I mentioned, because it shares pieces with the skiff, and so you're going to have this ring that you're going to adorn with the various pieces of armor. First you're going to add the sides, and then you're going to add the back, and then the two front pieces, and all of those things will move independently. And it really looks great when you put it all together. It kind of has like this Serpentor vibe. And the rest of the assembly is pretty much the same. Take the lower half, thread it through the skirt, attach it to the chest, and plop on the head, and the heroes appear to ward off the dread. And that's the review for Ryoma from Shurato from Yolopark's AMK Series Pro. I hope you have enjoyed the video. I enjoyed making it, so thank you so much for your precious donation of time, and I will talk to you next time.